What does Facebook want me to pay money to boost my live? That's not happening.
Of course they do.
You got to borrow $20. I'm going to boost my live real quick.
No.
All right, here we go. In five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome Home Podcast. I'm your host, Famously Garnet. I'm joined by my coach Q.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
And in today's episode, we're going to play a little bit of a catch up. We didn't have a show on Thursday, and a lot of things happened from Monday to Thursday, man. A lot of things, Q. But even that, South Carolina had a major weekend in Gamecock football with OVs and a lot of things going on, man. A lot of things going on. So, I mean, we're playing catch up here, Q. We're playing catch up. You want to start with South Carolina baseball? We're going into Gamecock football, the OVs, the commit that we got over the week with Clayton Lee, the three-star standout offensive lineman. That's a very good get, by the way. A big, massive human being. Go watch the film. 6'7", 305, I believe. Just a monster human being. Q, monster human being. You know, look, man, I got an 8-year-old. Okay, it's in my blood. And after
I
having
see.
the last spring with the little league or no little league, guess what? That is ingrained to my brain at this point.
This is crazy.
Lord, man, they score six, 7 runs, man. It's like it's insane, man. It's absolutely insane. But um, Q, let's go ahead. We're gonna start with baseball, man. South Carolina, Kevin Schnall is staying hot on the recruiting trail, man, as they've been doing. And I want to talk about this newest get with a for obviously for one, you bring Tyler Pitzer back to South Carolina. He was at Mississippi State this past season. I didn't have the best time over there, but that's okay. He was really good at South Carolina, and he's going to have playing his final year Gamecock ball in Columbia. And then I also want to talk about the catcher Andrew Costello from Wake Forest. That is a nice get for South Carolina, and there's so much more names out there, Q, that South Carolina is continuing to trend for, man, and a lot of exciting names. And Q, let's talk about Pitcher real quick, man. I mean, that's a big get for him coming back to South Carolina. Going to be a huge part of this bullpen and moving forward to see what he can do. Q, what are your thoughts about bringing Pitcher back home?
Huge, man. Huge. You got to have reliable pitching. Matt and Pitzer have a really good relationship. I understand why Pitzer didn't want to move to Coastal. I mean, he wanted to go to Mississippi State, he wanted to stay in the SEC, and he's still going to get his chance to stay in the SEC. He's going to be under Matt Williams again, who is, my God, he's putting together a staff in that bullpen and a staff for starters, man. I think that's going to be huge for us in the long run because Matt's going to have no short of pitchers. I've seen the work he's doing. He's going to have no short of pitchers, and as long as we stay healthy, we're going to be pretty good back there. And we could still, man, listen. I complained. Sin will tell you I pitched a fit because I felt like we were going to have no catchers. I was convinced we had no catchers. We were not going to have no catchers. Sin got pissed because Sin was
Mm,
like, we're going to have catchers. And this is a huge get right here. Wake Forest catcher, dude had a good freshman year. He had a really good freshman year, bro. And he's doing really good in the Cape Cod League right now. He's batting 425 in the Cape Cod. So that's going to be good to see him get into this and get with a person who played catcher, for one,
mm-hmm.
as your head coach. And when you look at the staff, which I want to also shout out that staff, that man has a guy coaching the outfield. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
that almost brought a tear to
Exciting.
my eye, bro. Because I don't even know who was coaching the outfield. I don't know who was coaching the infield. That man broke it down to people coaching the catcher, the infield, the outfield. Like, everyone has a responsibility, and that's the beauty of this.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I saw that I agree with is the culture has to change within that locker room. And you're going to get your chance to change that culture immediately. If we're able to land the other recruits we're in it for right now, and we survive the MLB draft, which that's another thing I'm looking at and I've got my eyes on. If
Yeah.
we survive the MLB draft, I I want nothing less than regional. I think we'll be able to get into a regional. I think we'll finish middle of the pack of the SEC and we'll get into regional. But it's going to set a standard. Hey, we're not. We have to make regional every year. That's going to be the words that said. That's going to be the standard that's there. Hey, we got to make regional every year. And so when you start building on your wins, building on things like that, that's where I start feeling like, okay, we're really where we need to be. So
Yeah. And you know, in looking at the names that South Carolina is currently trending for, I mean, there's an ample amount of names. Q. We'll talk about Ty Peoples from Georgia. That's an outfielder from Georgia that batted, I believe, 260, I believe, for the year, but didn't get a ton
another
of
freshman,
opportunity there.
another
Another
freshman.
freshman, another freshman. One I'm big on is Connor Schoas from Texas Tech. I really love everything about that kid. I mean, his bat is pristine, and you want to get that. You need that. So if you were to
Oh,
get him, that'd be huge. You bring Will Craddock back to South Carolina. He's going to go on his other visits to Georgia and I think Mississippi State. But that JD Stein from Wake, that's another one too that I'm very interested to see how it goes.
I
And then
think he'll
of
be on
course
campus
bring in
tomorrow, right? He'll be on campus
yes,
tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
be on campus tomorrow. And then Luke Costello, man, you know the other Costello brother. I think
He's
that's
got to
South
get in the portal
Carolina.
first. I
Man,
want him in the portal
yeah,
first, and then we'll see what happens from there. But got to
yeah.
get him in the portal first.
Yeah, and that's just a few names. I mean, there's no telling. I mean, South Carolina could be in it for even more. I mean, this is just over a week's time. This is what's been building, right?
Mm-hmm.
This team, this staff is very serious about getting back to the promised land, which is Omaha, Nebraska.
Yep, I
They
agree
are
with that.
very serious about it,
I agree with
and
that.
the fans are like, well, you know, Kevin Schnall, he did it. You know, he almost won it, right? It's like, why didn't we go after a bigger name? You know, why didn't we bring in a bigger name? But here's the thing for me, Q. I think Kevin Schnall's resume is strong enough, and what he built at Coastal Carolina, it should be sneezed at. I mean, like you have to look at it and truly like look at that thing and like, yeah, they did this with this kind of amount of resources, which not saying Coastal Carolina is, you know, scraping the bottom of the barrel for
No, they're
resources,
they're solid. They're for a G
but they're
five.
not
They're
South
actually
Carolina.
elite. Yeah, they're elite for a G5 resources. They're
Right.
absolutely elite for G5 resources when it comes to
Right.
baseball. But South Carolina still is South Carolina,
It's the
and
upper
when you got
echelon,
yeah,
man.
it's upper echelon. It's a tradition. It's a traditional blue blood. If you look at the resume of South Carolina over the years, like we are a baseball school,
Hmm.
and it's time to get back
Yeah.
to it.
Oh, 100%. And for people to write South Carolina off after the last, I don't, you know, 8 years or so, maybe 10 years, honestly, it's just ridiculous because South Carolina, even the time that we did struggle, I mean, under Mark Kingston, I'll say it again. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. South Carolina was one game away from Omaha, Nebraska.
Facts, we
Hate to
had
say
Arkansas
it.
on the ropes. We had them on the ropes. We were right there.
Yeah, absolutely did. If we had a better bullpen, we probably would have, you know, gone to Omaha that year. It's just facts of the matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only true time that I saw no fight from this South Carolina team or this you know this squad of any kind at University of South Carolina was when Paul Maneri came in.
A terrorist.
I
That
mean,
dude.
it's just
That dude
it was
is so
awful.
bad as a coach. He was so bad as like a person.
Yeah, he was awful.
He was terrible,
Um,
bro.
he was awful. So we're not going to go on that tangent though about him. So Kevin Schnall and the staff continues to build, and they're just putting. I mean, they're giving fans to have high expectations and to go on the next season. I'm just going to put it that way,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's fair. And if you think that a postseason asking for a postseason in year one for Kevin Schnall, the way he's assembling this team, the way and the you know what he's doing, I don't I don't disagree, man. It's like you know I think things are just going the way they need to right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So we'll talk more about that. Q. Hopefully gets you know our producer sent on the show on Thursday. Let's go ahead and let's take it into football, man. Since we last you know this was your last recorded Q. South Carolina landed a big commitment with a three-star offensive tackle Clayton Lee, which a lot of people they scoffed. They're like, "Oh, it's a three-star grade. We're a three-star university." Yada yada yada. And Q, I've said this many times. Give me a three-star offensive lineman. Give me a handful of three-star offensive linemen that can block, that know their assignments, that can do what they need to do. You know, no false starts and everything else. Limit your penalties. Because I'm telling you right now, Q, and I'll say it again. We had 4 and 5 stars holding that offensive line down last year and the year before that. That gave up a total of 75 sacks.
I mean, I'm not. I need road graders. I need guys that
Absolutely.
really want to put their nose in there and go get the first down. Go block and make sure your running back gets the first down. Go block and make sure your quarterback gets the first down. A go block to make sure the play develops. I mean, Lee is that guy. He has that aggression. He has that mindset. You can tell that Clemens has a type, and you're seeing
Mm-hmm.
it with the guys that we're getting on the offensive line. And so I I'm a big proponent, in my personal opinion, that y'all won't know what an offensive lineman does until he actually gets on that field. You can be all the stars you want to be, and you still may not do well.
Yep.
So I am feeling very strongly about how Lee is. I love his tape. I've watched his film. He shut down everything else. NC State wanted him to come up there. Virginia Tech wanted him. UCF wanted
Mm-hmm.
him. There were some P4 schools that wanted him to come play for him,
Oh, he
and we
visited
were able to.
Gators the most out of
So and
everybody.
he literally shut it down and came and ready to play for Clemens. And I'm happy about that. That makes me happy. That's what satisfies me when it comes to this. I needed to see that. I'm glad we're getting our offensive lineman we need. We still have people out there that we're still looking at, but I am glad we're starting to see the elevation of that. And Lee is the start of that. Lee is the start to that situation. Lee is the start to that as
Mm-hmm.
well when it comes to offensive tackles because you got to be able to shore up that. He's a solid right tackle. He is a perfectly solid right tackle, imposing size, imposing length. He's a solid right tackle. And that's when it comes to the game blocks and play. But he's ready to put his nose in the ground and he's ready to grind this bad boy out. You got to have guys that can move the pocket. You got to have guys that can move people out the way when it comes to the run game. What if we need to
Mm-hmm.
run the ball, FG, for 80 yards? What if everything we got to do, we got to have guys out there that's ready to do that. And he's one of them.
Absolutely.
You see what he's doing. You see what's going on. You see what Randy is doing, and that you see it, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
freaking see it. You freaking see it.
No, well, like I said, I mean, you're gonna have to really convince me to argue what Randy Clements is gonna do.
Bingo,
For one this year and in the offseason
bingo,
recruiting and say it's not going to work. You're gonna have to really
bingo,
convince me because I'm not buying it.
bingo. And I'll tell y'all this right now. Everyone out there, all y'all have been continuously down in the offensive line, this, that, and the other. And yeah, they have to prove it, but you got to understand. Since Shane Beamer's here, I don't think Will Muschamp even had this. I'm pretty
Mm,
convinced Will Muschamp didn't have it either. You never had your OC and your offensive line coach be in the same system for years. Clemens has been with the Browse family for over a decade in
mm-hmm.
coaching. That is a long time to be with a family, bro. That is a very long time to be with a family and to literally understand the system. Build that system was built around what their offensive line is able to do. So
Mm-hmm.
now you bring that into here with Browse. Everyone can say what they want to say when it comes to Kendall Browse. There's been good years, there's been bad years. You can say all that. But you can't name one quarterback that Browse has ever had that's been as talented as Lenore Sellers. You can't. Browse will tell you that. Anyone that has seen Browse's resume knows that this is the most talented quarterback he's ever had. Then on top of that, you implement what Browse does, which is a very strong up tempo one read system.
Yep.
You lessen the thinking process in the system because it is a college system. This is what the issue has been. We have been trying to do pro style in a college
Mm-hmm.
system and it doesn't work out. It has not worked out. Satterfield had way too much in his playbook. Way too much in his playbook. I don't think you guys understand how deep Satterfield's playbook was. It was insane. Spencer Rattler was sent from God because I don't understand how he was able to survive with those plays until Shane cut them plays. we only had a certain amount of plays after Satterfield was taken away. With his play call was taken away, we had a couple of plays, and we executed those plays, and we were successful with that. Dow Loggins was solid, but Dow Loggins he panicked in tough situations. He panicked in tough situations. And then Mike Shula, my God, you know what happened there. You know what freaking happened there. And so now I'm looking at the situation. You finally have a guy that has a college ready, proven system that is able to work. And now that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and like I said, the thing about it, they shout out to Gamecock Central, West Mitchell, Chris Clark. They had their I forget what they call it on 175, their hour basically, where they interview players and do kinds of different things with surrounding Gamecock Central. And they interviewed Shed Surratt last week, and you can find the interview on YouTube. The guys always do a good job when it comes to interviewing those guys live on the radio.
Shout out to my boys.
And yeah, shout out to them. Shed said one of the hardest things, and he didn't like it at first, but and this had a lot to do with the guys returning or not, right? Returning to play offensive line is to get ready to play up tempo because these guys have to change their bodies. They have to train themselves in a different way. And for the ones that return to South Carolina, kudos to y'all, right? Shed Surratt, Blake Franks, guys that saw a lot of time. Josiah even, I mean, he's had to learn it. I know he's hurt right now, but he's still having to learn the system. He's still on the off season learning how to get there, right? He's going to have to change his body because that's once he plays football in 2027. I mean, these things are going to happen. So, I mean, it's a massive difference, guys. It's a massive difference what we're going to see this fall.
Yeah. Up tempo is the name of the game. And I mean, it's going to help the defensive side too because you're playing against it in practice. So they're going to be conditioned and ready to go when we play the Tennessee, when we play the Mississippi State, who possibly does it. When you're playing those type of teams that are up tempo, I think Florida may have a little bit of it, but you're going to be ready for it. But this is the difference, though. There's a lot of teams on our schedule that's not going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
The Georgias, the Oklahomas.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of teams that's not ready for that situation. So
no, they're not.
How are we gonna handle the situation ourselves? Well, you get better in practice and you get better with the time. You're going to be perfectly fine.
Yep.
So Clint Lee is a good pickup. That was a good pickup and a good fit for this system.
Yeah. No, 100%, 100%. So Q, let's go ahead and let's talk about these official visits that took place, over this weekend. And obviously, some big names are on campus, right? We can spitball them all day. So let's go right off the rip. We're going to start from the star rankings from the top to the bottom. Everybody loves some stars. And Joshua Dobson, 5-star cornerback out of Charlotte, North Carolina at this point, originally from South Carolina. Torian Gray has done a job with his recruitment. We've said it time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things, Q. He's going to officially announce Nike Day, July 1st. A very interesting timing, of course, very interesting timing. But Q, I just want to talk about what Torian Gray's done with his recruitment. I mean, he's been there from the beginning, right? Since the middle school days, right? Since Torian Gray's been on staff, he was talking to Josh Dobson out of Catawba Ridge at the time, right? Out of the Catawba Ridge. And he's done such a job with his recruitment. And a lot of people look at it and are like, oh, you got A&M, you got Michigan, all these schools. But the thing about for Dobson, and I can 100%, I know this for facts because I know people in his camp, development matters to this kid.
Very much so.
Development matters to this kid. 6 DBs in the last, 3 or 4 years in the NFL?
And then and after this year, it'll be growing by 2 for certain with Vakari Swain and Judge Collier. It will grow
At
by
least.
2 for certain.
At least.
And you take that away, but you got to kind of rewind back. A lot of people don't realize with Dobson, it's really not about the money. It really is not about the money. But if you want to pull the money out, we are the one that's given the largest NIL when it comes to his recruitment. So it's not about the money. The reason why everyone has been able to be in this game now is because of how bad our season is. You go 4-8. And 2 of the last 3 seasons, Beamer has struggled 4-8, 5-7. Those two things have been. It's now is pan. It was pancaked in the middle of that is an extremely strong 9-4 season, which we're like 5 plays away from being 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have those two right here. 2 outweighs 1.
Yeah.
National media putting this hot seat stuff out is another reason why this has stirred the pot. This is what happens. And everyone understands it.
Every time.
But Dobson even said it. Shane laid it out. You don't have to worry about that because we're going to win games this year. We're going to be here. Torian's been here since the beginning. You can't deny the relationship and the development that has happened with this. The guys that has come through, he's seen those guys, the currents that has been there. He's seen so many different guys come through, have been developed, and have gone on to the league. Nick Emenwari, he's seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people understand. He watched that. Nick E had that. And I just, you know what's crazy? So I just got through watching the Georgia game in Georgia where we were up at halftime. And the 2023 season. Yep. That was one of the most realization situations where I was like, dude, if we had an offensive line where they didn't tee off and blitz us, we really would have been in that game. Like, really would have been in that game. And so you look at those situations and you realize, like, yo, we really didn't have to be in the predicaments we were in. So what Shane did was Shane did a wholesale change. You cannot, how do I want to put this? You cannot dim the fact of what Shane did. Areas that needed improvement, Shane literally went in and gutted it. Mm. You went from Montrell Hardesty, what's his name? Blackwell,
yeah.
To now you have Stan Drayton, that coach Bijan Robinson. You went from Satterfield, who nobody wanted, even Nebraska to this day doesn't want him, to Dow Loggins, who was serviceable, to Mike Shula, to now you have Kendall Browse, who is the only person out of the 4 names I just named that had an actual college-ready offense.
Yeah.
Then you went from Sterling Lucas, who, sure, he can recruit, but can he develop? Yeah. To now you have Deion Barnes, who helped with Abdul and Micah Parsons. Yeah. I don't know what else to say because no one's ever had an issue with Torian Gray. There's not one season we've had an issue with Torian.
No, not at all.
You've never had an issue with Clayton because Clayton's defense has tried to save you. The only year you could say is what, 2023? Or was it? Yeah, it was 23.
23
with the Florida game. But he also was hurt on that situation. He had a lot of hurt people. So Robinson, that man turned Nick Barrett into a draft pick.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Yep.
And he did that while also fighting for his life. Mike Fury, I mean, Nick Harbor's on the fringe of 1,000 yards. What do you want? What else do you need to say?
Exactly.
And Sean Elliott brings the intensity. So, like I said,
he does.
He filled holes. So now let's see what happens.
He does. South Carolina did a really good job with that. So, I mean, look for Joshua Dobson July 1st. I mean, I said it from the very beginning. I'm talking about 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, right? That South Carolina has always been the team to beat in this recruitment, and I still stand by that. I don't care what other people predict. I don't care. I'll tell you flat out if I did. But I feel like South Carolina has done everything and more in this recruitment to land Joshua Dobson. Just like I did with Dylan Stewart, just like I did with Nick Harbor. I'm sticking by that. So July 1st
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a big day for more reasons than one. And
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Dobson, that announcement's going to be huge. Next up, his teammate, his actual teammate in Charlotte at Hope High School, Davian Jones, the safety, 4-star safety. Once again, Q Torian Gray. He's talked about
Relationship
it.
since
Davian
eighth grade.
since
Relationship
eighth
since eighth
grade.
grade.
Since eighth
He
grade.
said it's a family feeling. I got to chop it up with guys I played with, chop it with guys I compete against with, chop it with everybody. July 26th. I'm looking forward to July 26th with him. I feel like we've done everything we need to do. That's another one I feel like we've done what we need to do in that recruitment and we can land that guy. I Jones is huge in this class. That's another versatile one that could possibly play nickel and
Yep.
come in and right away and play nickel. That's
Mm-hmm.
how good he is.
Oh, playing time will be a given for these two between Joshua Dobson and Davian Jones, considering who's leaving next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be there. It's one thing to
Mm-hmm.
guarantee playing time when it's not there, but it's another to like, yeah, you're going to get playing time. You come to South Carolina
You
because
do
look
what you
who's
need to
out the
do.
door. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's not promising, but he's saying it's out there. It's
It's
definitely out
out
there.
there.
So, Nate Carson, four-star offensive line from Irmo, South Carolina. Everybody is so upset South Carolina hasn't landed a single player out of South Carolina yet. But here's the thing, Nate Carson, Nate Carson. It went well, Q. It went well. Q, talk about Nate Carson and this past visit for him and his OV at South Carolina.
Well, even before his OV, he was on campus twice. Like he was on campus at least 5 days.
He was.
So his OV was 3 days, but he was on campus for like five. And Nate knows where home is. Nate's familiar with home. Nate has gone out and gone to different places. He went to Colorado. He's went to Georgia. He went to Clemson. He went to different places and he visited different things. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. He knows where home is. Shane has been above this recruitment the entire time. We knew with the transition going, Shane's been there. Clemens has been out to see him. Everything has gone well with that. And look at where we're at now. We're definitely here now. I feel strong about where he is, and his commitment is July 3rd, and I feel very strong about
Yep.
where we are with Nate and what's going to happen with that recruitment as well. I feel really good about that one.
And once again, he's been to South Carolina more times than any other school.
Any
It's the
other
same
school?
for it's the same for Joshua Dobson. These
It's the
kids have
same
been
for
to South
Jones.
Carolina. It
Same
is the
thing
same
for
for
Jones.
Jones. Yeah.
It is all these cats have been here so many times. Ross had just moved his recruitment up, his commitment day up to Sunday. It's
Yep.
another one that has been on campus time and time again. Guys, relationships still matter. No matter how y'all want to put this, relationships still matter. They do.
No,
I
they
promise you, they
do.
really matter.
Yeah, no, they do. They do. It's a fact. People they're like, oh, NIL, or it's all about the money, the Benjamins these days. Nah, it's that plays a part. But as Q, we were told by Darius Gray himself, South
But
Carolina was not the biggest money in that
yeah,
equation
but
on that
they still
particular
went out.
recruitment.
They still went
Hmm.
out. Even with us losing our offensive line coach, they still went out.
Exactly. So, and that was the same case for Dylan Stewart and obviously Nick Harbor. We were,
Mm-hmm.
to this day, people thought they were going to be Phil Knight money to go to Oregon.
That was a
Then
good day.
I have great property. It was a great day, but I have nice beach island property in the state of Nebraska. I will sell you today. So, moving on, Ivy and Lewis, 4-star wide receiver that is currently a
Check the
Kentucky
tape.
commit. Q.
Check the tape. Check the daggum tape. That's all I'm gonna say to him. Check the tape. Take your time out your day. Check the tape. Check the tape. He's a strong flip target. I'm intrigued to see how that plays out, but check the tape. That's all I'm gonna say is check the tape.
I
I have no other words for him. Check the tape.
Yeah, yeah. His tape's been good, and I was kind of surprised when he did commit to Kentucky back in May when he did.
Mm-hmm.
That was rather a surprise. I thought South Carolina was pretty good in that recruitment, but there you go. There you
He
go.
still came
So
on the visit. That's what matters.
he did. He took his OV, and I think South Carolina's done a great job here in this recruitment to be the
Mm-hmm.
number wide receiver 2, right, for South Carolina in this class. So
No, he'd be 3. That'd be the third
3.
one.
Sorry, that's
Yeah,
right,
because
3.
you got guy from DJ Huggins and
Yep,
uh, cat from Pennsylvania.
yep. I was leaving the. Yep, that's right. Now you're looking at Marquise Evans, man, the edge out of Birmingham, Alabama. Q. That's a big
It's a big.
time prospect.
That is what is that? 285 to 20 to get here. Yeah, I like Evans. He plays big time ball in Birmingham. Uh, the kid's good. The kid's good. I think he should have gotten more notoriety from being out there as far as one of the edge guys. He's been one of the guys. He's one of the top tier guys that they have wanted. They knew he was a diamond in the rough. Hard to pull him out of the state. Auburn's been pressuring, but Auburn has 2 guys committed already at his
Mm-hmm.
position, and so it's just kind of like, what does he want to do? There's a chance he does something this week or next, so we have a chance to find out where he stands here soon. And I'm particularly curious to see if we can get him in the fold. I am a fan of his, and I'm hoping we push to try and get him in the fold. That'd be a good edge to have. That's a good one. He's not far from home. Um,
Yeah.
it's about a 3.5 hour trip. That's not bad for him. So it's to me, it's let's get it done. Let's. That's one I really want. I really want Evans in this class. I really want Evans. I think he would learn so well under Barnes. Do so well under Barnes.
Yeah. Evans would be a great get for Deion Barnes, and I mean he's been recruiting for a while when he was at Penn State, so that's one to watch out for. I did want to talk about the 2 kids that were camping over the weekend. That Q they did wind up getting an offer. One of them is Jaden Brody out of Raleigh, North Carolina, the 3-star edge, which Noah Clark knows him very well, so he was very excited about that offer right there for South Carolina offering Jaden Brody, the 6 foot
Mm-hmm.
2 edge out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and then Josiah Sturdivant, currently he's a 3-star edge, but he's currently committed to Rutgers, but he's 6'4", 225 out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. I mean, look, that is
It's a good size.
that's good size right there, man. That's what I like seeing. That's what I like seeing come off the edge. The 6'5", 6'4", that 225, 235 coming at
Mm-hmm.
you. That's always good.
Correct. Correct. That guy, you've got a lot of talent right there. Like that's a lot of like, okay, that's the talent we need. That's gonna help us get. That's what I'm saying. When you reset the board, and you start looking at things. You start realizing like, hey, there's some talent out there that we can still get. There's some talent guys out there that could really make a difference. And I think this is one of the guys. This is definitely one of them. So I like it. I like it, bro. I like it. Hold on, we missed one of the. We had 5 on campus. Nate, Lewis, Dobson. People. No, we got them. All 5 of us.
Yeah,
Evans. Yeah. I had to think about that. I was like, I felt like we missed somebody. I just want to make sure we didn't miss them. But yes, the
yeah.
2 edges. I'm excited about those guys. I'm thinking one's gonna jump in the fold here soon. From what I'm hearing, one guy was waiting on the offer, and once he got the offer, I think he's gonna kind of accelerate a few things, and I think he'll take his official visit during the season.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Q, South Carolina currently has 3 unknown welcome homes right now at this point. 3 unknown welcome
Two,
homes.
two of them. One was Lee. One was Lee,
Okay,
and then there's 2
okay,
more.
okay.
So yeah,
For
we got
some
2 of
reason I
them out
thought,
there.
yeah. Okay, so you got 2 of them out there
Mm-hmm.
that haven't been named yet. I could have swore it was 3. I thought tonight made it 3, but maybe I'm off on that.
Because Lee ended up committing, ended up committing
Yeah, that's right.
long
Okay, yeah,
after one
so
of them was said.
that's right. So you got a couple of them out there, but the thing about it, and Q and I have said on many episodes of this show, we're going to keep saying it going into the season. That 4-8 is still staring South Carolina into the face, and that is
Until,
why recruiting
until
is as
September
hard as
5th.
it is right now. You
Until
know,
September 5th, you can't until you can go in there and change it. There's nothing you can do.
Start righting your wrongs. You start righting your wrongs September 5th, and then it all comes together. And I'll be saying this all season. South Carolina wins games. Guess what? Recruiting takes care of itself. If there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it,
That's a fact.
because there's
That's
a
a fact.
lot of kids out there right now that are currently committed to other programs that are maybe like, if South Carolina starts winning, unlike what this guy's telling me on this staff that got me to commit to to this school, then maybe I might have a
Uh-huh.
change of heart.
Agreed. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. So we just got to wait it out and see what happens with it. But those guys are in summer programming right now, doing what they need to do. I think we have a chance here, folks. It's just gotta let's see how this plays out, folks.
Hmm. Yeah, so you got a lot of stuff going on. So just kind of a recap, real quick, as far as commitment dates. Joshua Dobson, July 1st. Davian Jones publicly goes live July 26th over there for Davian Jones. You said Nate Carson was July 3rd, right? Q. So
Yes.
July 3rd for Nate Carson.
Sunday
Marquise
for
Evans.
Ross. Sunday for
Yep, Sunday
Ross.
for Jackson Ross. Yep, the three-star linebacker out of Hammond. Which I mean, between South Carolina and Texas Tech on this one, and Texas Tech is
Yeah.
very serious about this
Yeah.
kid. By the way,
Very serious.
it's not just a name that's
Hmm.
being floated out there. I'm telling you
Very
this right
serious.
now.
Very serious about
Telling
it.
you this right now. And then Marquise Evans, any given time, any week, right? So
And Middleton, or what's that? The
yeah, Ken
safe. The
Middleton
Middleton is on Thursday. He's
Thursday.
committing
That's
out at the
correct.
opening. He's committing
That's
out
right.
there in the opening. So yes.
And think about Middleton. South Carolina's been in a good spot for a while too with him.
Very
Another
long time.
lengthy
Yes.
DB that
Yes.
Torian Gray likes.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
Another good one.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to you, man. It's exciting things, exciting things.
Hmm.
Before we do wrap this thing up, I do want to talk about this past weekend, the event that took place down at CB18. I really do want to talk about that. It's just what the community is doing, man. I mean, it's one thing. It's like you have all these meetings and get-togethers and things and these events for it not to matter, and it's simply not like that when you have these kind of get-togethers. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, you couldn't be out there, but I was out there for the wing golf, the fourth annual wing golf. That's my fourth year being out there too. Shout out to Armando Neves for actually winning the damn thing. He won
Hmm.
$1,000, so congrats to him for
Shout out
winning
to
the wing
him.
competition.
Shout out to
But
him.
guess who came in second? Q. Guess who came in second? And I don't think the listeners are ready for this one.
Who?
Like Max Kelly, our
The
kicker,
kicker. Oh,
the
boy.
kicker,
Oh,
buddy.
boy.
He was first of all that kid shredded. Second of all, what he was doing, he's taking the wings, ripping the bones apart, taking the chicken and just like shoving it in his mouth. What a technique! First of all, I was
Oh, boy.
impressed. I'm like,
Oh,
all
boy.
right, he's here to
Oh, boy.
play.
Oh, boy.
He's here to play. And
I
then
like that.
also shout out to the Gamecock hype man himself, Jake Wrecker, man. And everybody may know the name Jake Wrecker. He was on a scout, walk on, but now he's on scholarship. He's one of your great scholarship stories. And he's the kid that was always on the sidelines during sandstorm and everything, getting the crowd hyped and everything. I mean, he's doing it all season last year, and
Yep.
now he's a scholarship player. So shout out to him for taking third, man. For taking third. So
Shout out to the
really
guys.
cool stuff. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Cox by 90 for putting this on.
Hmm.
Cocky
Yeah.
Hospitality for putting this together. They do a job with it. It's just
Facts.
things like this from the fans really help put the culture together at South Carolina outside of what's goes on in the locker room. Of course, when you get these players involved, obviously players like Blake Franks was there. He was part of it. There's a bunch of other players out there. You know, Gabriel Brinlow Dindy, he was out there trying to, trying to win the contest. Yeah, I mean, just had so many guys out there, and then you had, people out there supporting Mo Brown. I believe he also was trying to win the contest too. Big old Mo Brown, which
Yeah.
for the ones that remember him, he was also a guy that got put on scholarship.
Yep. That's true.
So really cool stuff there. And, also for the guys, the people that don't know, the old signature marquee, the sign that everybody remembers that Gigi Jackson commitment for one. that was probably the mainstay when you think of the marquee. You're like, oh yeah, GG Jackson took a picture in front of this, and then you had Dylan Stewart and Nick Harbor and all these recruits that were in town. They would take pictures with the giant sign marquee, which eventually turned into New Brooklyn Tavern, right? They sold off. My boy Tommy, I don't know if I remember he quite sold off, but now he has touchdown to 5 points, which he also has a marquee himself, and he does his thing for the
Mhm.
recruits. And shout out to him. He's got a good podcast. Go check it out. They have a good fun on there from touchdown to 5 points. But now what is coming is called 5 Point Social. And if you haven't seen the imagery of this or what's coming, it's really, really cool. And it's
It's gonna be
also
dope.
done, it's really cool. It is really cool. But Q, that brings the obviously the Gamecock community together in more ways than one, right? It's not obviously just going to be for the college students. This is going to be for everybody. That is their
Correct.
and that's what they're trying to do with CB18. Not to say it doesn't work with CB18, but this one's going to have a different kind of vibe over here at the 5 Point Social.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get down there.
It looks good,
I
man.
can't wait. I can't wait to get down there. I am looking forward to getting down there, spending some time down there, talk with everybody. And as we said, you guys get ready because the season's going to be fun. You got our tailgate's going to be on the 24th of October. We told y'all guys Tennessee. We've already talked about it. Me and FG have already worked. We're working through it. We'll probably iron out the details here. This summer, try and get everything together, figure out what we need because we're gonna be ready for you guys on the 24th. We expect
Hmm.
all you guys to come on out there. We're gonna have Tennessee fans out there too. We gotta show them some hospitality. We can't just beat them and then just dog them. Nah, you gotta show them some hospitality before you beat them, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have us a good time out there, and we're just gonna have more events because this is a thing we're trying to build this up. So let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. Let's build this thing to where it needs to be.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, if these wins, like I said, they happen this
Oh
season,
yeah, you'll
when they
see it.
do,
It's gonna
things
be
are
big
going
time.
to, yeah,
It's gonna be big
things
time.
are things are going to change. Before we do end the show, I do want to give a shout out to CF Budge. For those who don't know, that is a I don't really call him a social media influencer. He's not like that. He's more of a historian or some. So I guess you would call him. But he's got a pretty heavy presence on social media, TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, and all those YouTube. And that's a guy who knows ball. I mean, he knows college football in general. And he just interviewed Shane for about an hour or so, which is really, really good. If you want to hear where things are with Shane right now, outside of being an actual media room, getting questions from the media from what they can ask and what they can't ask, I would probably go listen to that CF Budge interview about his views on college football right now, recruiting, things of that nature. He has some really good stuff. So I do recommend checking out that interview because this is stuff that you just normally wouldn't hear Shane asked in these, media sessions, right?
Correct.
So it's one of those things. But yeah, shout out to everybody I saw this weekend though, man. It was a time, unfortunately, Q, I wish you were out there, man. But
Yeah.
shout out to like I said, CB90, Mike Uva. It was good seeing you again. Mike's always a class act. We had a lot
It's my
of
boy right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a funny guy, man. We had a lot of fun this past weekend, so it was good seeing him and everybody else Gamecock Twitter world. The head of Charleston Gamecock Club out there, Jen. She's fantastic. It was great seeing them and putting some connections together. I mean, it's truly awesome, Q, when we go to these events and
Hmm.
we're welcomed and people tell you how
Yep.
great the show is and what you guys are doing and that means a lot to us. It really really does.
It's a
I mean,
big fact.
some do this for the heck of it, but it means a lot more to us. South Carolina is our home,
Yep.
and we treat it as such.
That's a
So
fact. Yes,
so
sir.
so shout out to everybody that continues to show love and by the way, man, we only got a few days left. July 25th is when the day ends for voting for the Welcome Home Podcast as Best of Columbia. We've been nominated 2 years in a row. We'd love to actually bring it home this year. We're
Yes,
going to get
sir.
some tough competition out there, but you guys can be the difference.
Let's do it. So y'all vote for us. Vote for us. Vote for us.
Please, please. 58,000 strong followers on Facebook. You guys know what you can do. Twitter, same thing. Over 14,000. Instagram,
Hmm.
a bunch. I mean, you guys can be the difference maker. You guys can make us bring that home. So we would,
Yes,
like I said,
sir.
greatly appreciate that. We really would.
Yes,
We
sir.
really, really would. Well, guys, Q, do you have anything else before we wrap it up, my guy?
Nah, hopefully we have more things for y'all on Thursday, man. So just stay tuned. Like I said, we're hitting some heavy times now with recruiting and everything, and with the guys getting ready for the season. So let's just stay with us. Stick with us.
That's it, man. Please continue with us. And, also, if you haven't got your Steven Garcia shirt yet, the Viva Garcia,
Yep.
please, like I said, the link is in the bio as always. I'll post links again. But, people are asking where to get them. Like I said, famouscigarnet.com. You can get them. That's where you can show your support for Steven. Like I said, all those profits that go back to Steven.
Yes,
I
sir.
paid him. I paid him a lot of money this time at this point. Not as much as he's made on that GoFundMe, but he's it's been good. Yeah, I'm glad that we're making a difference, man. I'm glad we're
Big
making a
time.
difference.
Big time. Shout out to my boy Steven. Keep grinding, bro. Keep grinding. Keep
Keep
fighting.
keep keep fighting, brother. Keep fighting. You've got every day, man. Praying for you, my friend.
Yes,
Every
sir.
day. So he'll keep doing his thing. So, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning into the Welcome On Podcast live on Facebook, YouTube, X. As always, appreciate y'all listening to the Welcome On Podcast on Spotify and Apple, where you can catch every episode of the Welcome On Podcast, official voice of South Carolina on the Believe Network. Guys, we will see you next time.
Peace.